Things have been absolutely chaotic with Diddy lately, with new bombshells seemingly dropping every day. But the latest frenzy centers on 50 Cent's documentary, Sean Comes the Reckoning, and the so-called vault of material he claims to have. The prison tapes featured aren't literally Diddy calling in from jail. Instead, they show footage from right before the raids and major events unfolded, and 50 hints that what's been released is only the tip of the iceberg, with even crazier content left out. So much so that he joked about uploading it all to YouTube. The drama intensifies with rumors that Diddy allegedly tried to influence a juror, allegedly recording everything under the belief he would win the case, adding another messy layer to an already explosive story. Netflix documentary chronicling Diddy's supposed triumphant exoneration has taken a wild turn, as things didn't go exactly as planned. Neil, allegedly Diddy's right-hand man, is reportedly caught on tape offering money, hiring lawyers, and engaging in other shady tactics to silence witnesses, with 50 Cent claiming to have all 140 hours of this footage. The plot thickens with Diddy's former chef Jordan, who says Neil Dominique was feeding Diddy information about her grand jury testimony and that Diddy's attorney contacted her afterward offering legal representation, suggesting a coordinated effort to intimidate witnesses and obstruct justice. With 50 in possession of the footage, even Diddy's lawyers could be implicated, and for the first time, people are speaking out who were too scared before, trusting 50 and no longer intimidated, as he himself has openly stated that he doesn't fear Diddy or think he's untouchable. 50 Cent has been speaking out about Diddy for 20 years, so this isn't him jumping on a trend. He's been quietly gathering evidence and waiting for the right moment. And the documentary apparently captures Diddy's final days of freedom before his arrest and indictment. Watching the raw footage was, in 50's words, explosive and shocking. And while he even thinks Diddy might appreciate the fairness and multiple perspectives presented, it seems unlikely. Meanwhile, Diddy's lawyers are already trying to block the release, claiming it's illegal and demanding Netflix pull it. But 50 isn't backing down. This is exactly the kind of situation he thrives on. Critics note the documentary omits the story of Anthony Wolfe Jones, Diddy's former bodyguard, whose death, according to another ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, was directly connected to Diddy's choices and the broader industry dynamics, highlighting just how complex and dangerous the environment around Diddy has been. Anthony Wolfe Jones, Diddy's former bodyguard, wasn't involved in the Big Jake murder and had warned Diddy he wouldn't travel without proper security, ultimately sacrificing his life protecting him. Yet, according to Gene Deal, the documentary completely glossed over this crucial detail. Meanwhile, Diddy and his family are reportedly preparing a $1 billion defamation lawsuit over the film, but 50 points out that to win, Diddy would have to prove everything in the documentary is false, which seems nearly impossible. Financially, Diddy could be in trouble, as prolonged legal battles are costly and without new income, sustaining his lifestyle may be difficult. Adding to the chaos, Diddy allegedly secretly recorded private conversations with his lawyer, Mark Agnello, betraying the fundamental trust of client-lawyer confidentiality and creating yet another shocking layer to an already explosive saga. Ever since that footage came out, it's like the floodgates opened, with more and more revelations about Diddy's alleged criminal activities and empire. Some clips show him in the courtroom, joking about needing hand sanitizer and a bath after all the hugs, trying to act casual and perform like everything's normal while clearly under pressure. Meanwhile, there's the situation with Dawn Richard from Danny Kane, who was reportedly compiling clips of her saying positive things about Diddy even after she filed a lawsuit alleging sexual assault and battery, showing an audacious attempt to control the narrative despite overwhelming evidence. She testified in court about the violence and abuse she witnessed, including Diddy yelling at Cassie and even grabbing a skillet full of eggs, highlighting a pattern of intimidation and manipulation behind the scenes. The allegations keep escalating, with Dawn describing Diddy physically attacking Cassie, punching, kicking, dragging her up the stairs by her hair, while locking Dawn and another person in the studio and threatening them, even claiming, "What we saw was what lovers in passionate relationships do," before adding the chilling note that people go missing if they talk, only to later send them flowers, which reeks of mob boss behavior. There's also the infamous train to Paris, which Dawn says was actually a train in Scotland, where she allegedly witnessed Diddy engaging in wild misconduct with an assistant poolside, behavior that could easily spark another lawsuit. The chaos is fueled by drugs and alcohol, though that hardly excuses such actions. Adding another explosive layer, the documentary features a 2008 proffer interview with Keefe D., currently awaiting trial for Tupac's murder, claiming that Diddy allegedly arranged Tupac's murder for $1 million, making the whole saga even darker and more incendiary. Keefe D even reflected that, in hindsight, it was probably the best outcome for Puffy because Zip ended up stealing the money. So while Diddy isn't directly implicated in a murder for hire, the suggestion lingers. Keefe D claims he lost his empire because of Puffy, saying that if he'd never met him, he wouldn't have been caught up in all this, and alleges Puffy manipulated him in Suge Knight, using them for concerts and security. It's not direct proof against Diddy, but it adds another piece to a complicated puzzle that paints a damning picture when combined with everything else. The documentary also explores Diddy's early life, his relationship with his mother, and past abusive romances, shedding light on his mindset and the way he climbed the music industry ladder, growing up with what could be called street-funded privilege, with a mother deeply entrenched in hustlers, pimps, models, basketball players, and the grind of survival. Diddy's upbringing was chaotic, with drug dealers, alcohol, and a stage built in the living room where kids were made to perform. A wild environment that seems to have shaped his legendary party persona. He was always in a rush, pushing ahead, even bullying his way in at Under Harold's home under a fabricated story about a fight with his mom, with some suggesting the relationship went beyond mentorship. Throughout his life, he's consistently engaged in risky, legally and emotionally charged situations, yet somehow escaped unscathed. Until now. The flood of revelations from the documentary paints him as a deeply troubled, even malevolent figure trapped in a cycle of trauma, harming countless innocent people along the way. And it's not just the individual allegations, it's the sheer number and consistency of them that signal something seriously wrong, raising questions about how long this pattern has gone unchecked. This isn't just a few disgruntled employees, it's a clear pattern of abuse, control, and using wealth and influence to get away with anything. What's infuriating is how long this has been going on. People whispered about Diddy for years, but stayed silent out of fear. Fear of him, of losing their careers, of being blacklisted, which shows just how much power he held in the industry. Now, though, witnesses and victims alike are speaking out, and that public reckoning is what could really bring him down. It's not just the lawsuits. It's the growing awareness of who he truly is. And 50 Cent, whether people love him or hate him, is central to this moment, leveraging his platform to expose Diddy, give voice to victims, and hold him accountable, armed with footage and evidence and unafraid of the legal threats looming over him. Honestly, I never thought I'd see the day when Diddy faced this level of scrutiny. He always seemed untouchable, above the law. But now it looks like he may finally have to answer for his actions. This isn't just about him. It's about the broader culture of the music industry, where powerful men have long gotten away with abusing women, silencing people, and using money and fame to escape accountability. This reckoning is an opportunity to clean house, hold people accountable, and create a safer, fairer environment, but it won't be easy. Diddy is likely to fight back, using every resource to discredit allegations, intimidate witnesses, and manipulate media narratives. We can't let that happen. We have to support victims, amplify their voices, and demand justice. We have to hold the media accountable for reporting this story fairly and accurately, and keep the pressure on until Diddy is held responsible for his actions. This is a moment of truth, not just for him, but for the music industry and society at large. Will we continue tolerating this kind of behavior, or will we finally say enough is enough? I believe this is only the beginning. As more information emerges and more people speak out, the pressure on Diddy will mount, and eventually, he won't be able to maintain the facade. When that happens, it will be a watershed moment, sending a clear message that impunity in the industry is over and signaling a chance to truly change the culture.